Hi, welcome back. I'm Beetlejuice from Reddit's Wicked Edge, and at the request of user BVM, I'm going to do a double-edged shave, and I'm going to do this one a little slower than you're used to seeing me do. I've got the brand new big card in the camera, so I can slow things down a little bit. I'm also going to try once again the double camera setup so that you can see what my hands are doing below frame as well. Without further ado, let's get into it. I'm literally just out of the shower. Nice hot shower, solid scrub, a little bit of softening hair conditioner on my face so that my beard is a little softened. And I've got a couple of days growth. So I'm also going to talk through this just in case this does not come out on camera, or the second camera, I should say. And I'm actually going to switch out to a fresh blade. And this is the infamous Merkur Future that some people have said is a real pain to change blades in. I dispute that. If you're having trouble changing a blade in one of these, you probably shouldn't be doing this either. Any of it. It's not quite as clean as a clamshell change, but it's not bad, really. So there we go. New blade. Very important before you start shaving with a Merkur, or any adjustable razor, if you've been doing anything with it, actually kind of sort of treat it like a gun. Always check your gear. I can shave between a 4 and a 5. I'll start with a 4 and dial that down to a 3 as I'm doing against the grain passes. Your numbers, the blades that you use, all of this will vary. Now, this guy, don't leave them loose. Forget about it at your peril, really. So I've dried out a little bit, and I think today I go with the Vulpix Super Badger, or Best Badger, sorry. So, running some hot water. Also, in my scuttle right now, I have a brand new puck of Mitchell's Wool Fat shaving soap. By the way, if you've never seen it, that's what it looks like when it shows up at your doorstep. Very nicely wrapped in a clean paper wrap, very old time, old school style. Now, unlike a lot of other soaps, Mitchell's does require a little extra voodoo. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a bit of water on the soap puck itself to build up a softened film. That takes a couple of seconds really, but I'm going for the full-on luxury spoil my ass senseless shave today. So this is GeoF Trumper's Lime's Skin Food. Skin Food is a manly way of saying moisturizer, by the way, if you didn't know. There are some additional benefits. It does soften your beard, but it is a moisturizer. So you'll notice, contrary to what you've seen me do with other information, I'm actually pushing this up into the grain of my beard. That's because I'm trying to get it to stand up. It's the last thing you want to do after you've shaved. I'm also pre-wetting my face cloth, something else that you usually don't get to see me do. Draining the water off the wool fat, draining the hot water out of the scuttle. And the scuttle is, that's right, Scuttle is one of those nice to have things. It's like like a silver tip badger brush. It's really neat to have, but it's by no means required. So, and for those of you who work with Mitchells, you're probably not really impressed with me at this point because yours probably does not come up that easy. Spoiled rotten water softener. Very sorry. I considered actually turning the water softener off and finding out just how bad my water is here, but another time. Okay, so with that worked up, just a bit of hot water on my hands from the sink and rehydrate again. Again, working against the grain. Trying to get everything to stand up as much as possible here. All right. Again, sweeping counter to the grain. And what you're looking for, at least with the Mitchells, is kind of a sort of a, I don't want to say meringue because that's too thick, and cappuccino's too thin, somewhere between the two. This step is strictly personal preference. I like to dip my blade in warm water before I start because, well, really nothing is more miserable than that first touch of cold steel on your face. This is supposed to be comfortable. Now, for me, pinky does not go up, by the way. Firm grip on the blade and lock your wrist. Step back, and you notice that my wrist is very much in line. I try to keep it like that for the most part. If you get your wrist moving, it's when I find bad things happen. Notice as I change areas, as it starts to gunk up, I will flip it over, utilizing both sides of the razor. That way I get even wear and tear on the blade and I don't have to wonder what side I've been using. Now, changing sides, again, come back, you notice the wrist is still locked, the grip has changed, but it is still held, immobile. Move your arm, not your wrist. One other thing, be mindful of where you've put your razor when you put it down. Pick a spot that isn't easily knocked as you're moving around, as you're picking up your brush, moving your bowl, whatever. And one thing I've found, bathroom counters are absolutely skittish. They're not designed to hold anything to make them easier to clean. As a result, it also means that stuff put on them tends to go for a walk really bloody quick. It's one of the reasons why, if you notice any of the 2-camera shots or any of the down shots that I've done, There's a towel on the edge of the counter. That's why. Things don't run away off a towel, usually. And again, locking the wrist. I'm also using a magnifying mirror, which makes it a little easier for me to keep track of what I've cut, how I've cut. However, there is a problem using a magnifying mirror, and that you get obsessed because you can see every little miss. That's bad. It's bad because you'll start doing passes over and over and over, trying to get every last little bit. And the next day will turn into razor bumps. And really, it's not cool, it's not fun. Nobody likes them. If you're first starting out, it's one of the hard things to learn. It's actually one of the hard things to learn, I think, no matter what you're into. It's knowing when to stop. It's like I can't remember who said it now. It's how do you know when a book is done, when your novel is done, when a play is done? It's like, done? No, I just stopped working on it. But it's sort of the same thing. And you'll go to the bone trying to get this perfect. Now remember what I said? Adjusted down to a 3 for the upstroke. By the way, if you have one of these guys, when you go to make your adjustment, unlike a Mercur, which doesn't have this problem, loosen the clamshell, then make your adjustment. The difference is if you try and adjust it with this down, you're forcing the blade up into an already closed and set burr. When you loosen it, hear that pop? That's the blade changing its position. So when you tighten this back down, it's no longer where it was. In the interest of my face, I'm not leaving that there, because I will forget, even though I shouldn't. I just gave you guys the speech. So one little bleeder there. So with a shallower angle, I'm taking smaller, choppier strokes, if you noticed. I'm also 95% done at this point. The with the grain and across the grain pass would have been sufficient. However, this is the full on slow down, take your time shave. I don't know how well it shows up, but for this pass, I've got the head practically sitting on my face. I'm just barely rotating the blade in. And same thing with the infamous trouble spot on the jaw. Bring the head in and rotate. You're just trying to barely catch as you go. Steepest angle, or the closest to perpendicular as you can get the blade if you're going to try an against the grain pass. Now, the nice thing about having pre-wetted this towel is I don't need to run cold water. It's already cooled. It's already properly moist. Let's change sides a couple of times. And again, notice I'm not rubbing back up. Find the grain of your face, and for the most part, try and avoid doing that, because what happens, you'll wind up pushing the hair back under the follicle, back under the skin as you're scrubbing up. And once you've done that, it will walk its way out as an ingrown hair or razor bump the next day. And again, depending on who you are and what you like, this is an Allen block. I rather enjoy this. I also don't think it's going to be enough to stop that little weeper there. So, just do a quick wipe down. And maybe. I don't think it did stop it, actually. Okay. So I don't need to deploy the styptic pencil. So, at this point, strictly up to you. I typically use an oil as a finish, but today, just going to use a little bit of witch hazel. So that's maybe a teaspoon, which is a little too much. This is Thayer's mint and aloe witch hazel, which I find is a really nice scent, but the scent bleeds off really, really fast. So you don't wind up with a lot of scent attached to it, which, as far as I'm concerned, your aftercare products, until you're down to your cologne, shouldn't be imparting a whole lot of flavor or scent to you anyway. It's one of the reasons why I despise a lot of the over-the-counter stuff. Like, well, we know. It comes in cans, you're not supposed to use it, right? Absolutely overpowering scents, and just not my bag. So, that's got a nice cooling tingle to it, but it's not a high alcohol burn like, say, an aftershave, which I'm just about to deploy here now. This is homemade bay rum, and essentially how you make that is you take, I'm not kidding, rum and vodka, orange rind, grated down very finely, cinnamon, cloves, and bay rum extract, or actual bay rum leaves. Now, cooking bay rum leaves are not the same thing. These are toxic. And what I did, if I can find it here, hit up your health food stores. You can usually find little vials like this, bay rum. It doesn't smell like you'd think. That's more of a cinnamon clove kind of a smell. Yeah, mix that together, park it in the sunlight for a couple of days in a mason jar, drain it off. Ta-da! Instant bay rum, old school style. So there you go. That little weeper is non-existent. I'll probably not need to shave till day after tomorrow, which is typical with the future of feather razor and a full-on Mitchell Wolfat shave. Again, time and practice, guys. It takes time to get to this level, and I have slowed things down quite a bit because I was asked to, but it's one of those experience. You're going to have bad shaves. It's going to be tough. You're going to think that somebody's tricked you into this, and it's not. It truly is. It's the best shave that you will ever get if you stick with it. And look at that. By the way, Merry Christmas from Wicked Edge. For those of you who stuck with the video this far, check us out or join up on Reddit r/wicked_edge. If you like what you saw here, subscribe to my channel. I tend to post a mess of videos ranging anything from instructional how-tos to just a general shave of the day to who knows. I've been known to find some exotic stuff and try and shave with it from time to time. And hopefully you can learn something. If there's something that you'd like to see me do, on the main page of my channel, there's a survey link for what would you like to see me do next. Feel free to drop something there, and I'll be more than happy to see what I can do to show you what you want to see. Till next time, I'm Beetlejuice from Wicked Edge, and keep 'em sharp. Oh, by the way, Merry Christmas.